In today's video, we're going to discuss support and resistance lines for beginners. If I said to you, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, what would you anticipate I would say next? Green, right? Because you recognized that I described a pattern. If I said left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 you could probably guess what would come next. This is because your brain is hardwired to look for patterns in everything. It's what allows you to recognize a song before it's played in its entirety. Patterns help you find friends and navigate relationships. Patterns help you understand languages and overcome learning difficulties. As a Christian, I've noticed patterns in my lifestyle that could lead me down a road of temptation. By understanding those patterns, I'm able to quickly make decisions that help me avoid temptations. The power of patterns can be found anywhere, and guess what? The stock market is no exception. What would you do if you found a stock that dropped to a $10 price point every month and climbed back up to $13 within the next 30 days? If you saw this was a consistent price action, you might wait until the stock dropped to $10 and then buy it. Then, as it got close to $13, you could sell it for a nearly 30% profit. Sounds too simple, right? But the fact of the matter is, stocks make price patterns like this all the time. You just need a way to identify and capitalize on the pattern. That's where support and resistance lines come in. A support line is a psychological barrier that can cause traders to think it's time to buy a stock. So the price often bounces up off of a support line, much like the example I gave where the stock bounces up from $10. A resistance line is a psychological barrier that can cause traders to think it's time to sell a stock. So the price often bounces down from a resistance line, like $13 in the example I gave. Figuring out where support and resistance lines are is the secret sauce for buying low and selling high. So how can you do that? Start by looking at a stock and zooming out a bit. Does the price stay in a consistent range? You may have found a rolling price pattern. Does it seem to be climbing at a steady pace going from the bottom left of a chart to the top right of the chart? That's probably an uptrending pattern. If the stock is steadily declining from the top left to the bottom right of the chart, you may have found a downtrending price pattern. In all three of these price patterns, the stock often makes a wavy price action, climbing for a time and then falling for a time. If it climbs farther than it falls, the waves will form an uptrend. If it falls farther than it climbs, the waves will form a downtrend. Now, if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that stocks don't just go up or down. Sometimes they go sideways. But in all three moves, whether it be mostly up, mostly down, or mostly sideways, the stocks wiggle a little bit, going slightly up and slightly down within their overall pattern. So zoomed way out, an uptrend might just look like a straight up line. But when you zoom in, you'll see little moves, ups and downs that form these waves. Same thing with a downtrend and also a sideways stock. Now, draw a line along the bottoms of the waves, connecting them like you're playing connect the dots, but keep your line straight as if it's drawn on a straight edge like a ruler. The waves should appear as if they are bouncing off the line. This is called your support line. Now do the same thing along the tops of the waves. Connect the tops with a straight line and try to keep your top line parallel to your bottom line. It should appear as if the waves of the stock are bouncing down off this top line and up off of the bottom line. We call the space between these lines the range. And if you can see a stock's range, you can see its price pattern, which means you may be able to find the best buy and sell points. Now, drawing these lines is pretty fast, but learning to draw them well can take some time. If you'd like to know a simplified system for drawing these support and resistance lines, get involved with one of our educational programs. Support and resistance lines are not a subjective thing. They have a real place in time and space where they belong on the stock. So it's important to get them right, or you might end up with bad buy and sell points. The good news is there's a way to let these lines prove themselves to you. It's almost like they're telling you exactly where they belong. So the next time you're thinking about trading a stock, remember yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, and look for the pattern in the stock you're considering. It could make all the difference in the world. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, check out the links in the description below. We'll see you next time, and then we'll see you in the market.